Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dose. It's Tuesday. So happy Taco Tuesday. And I wish I could give you a 3, 2, 1. I know, right? We need like a little countdown thing on your screen. It's always so abrupt, but that's okay. So welcome back. We are still talking about GoPro. And like I said last week, I'm going to try to take the premise of these chapters and kind of attach the mindset we need in order to execute them and execute them well. And today I titled my talk Attracting Prospects and Ask with Confidence. So I talk a lot about energy. You guys know that. I talk a lot about mindset and mind shifting. And I think this is so important for these steps in particular, because how we approach them can make a world of difference in our results. So he talks about, so first we're going to talk about attracting prospects. He talks about finding them, but we have the power to attract them too. And we're going to talk about who do we want to attract? The type of people that we get to attract to our business is up to us. So one thing I've learned is through my time in network marketing is the ones that you thought for sure would join you and they would be so gung-ho about it, don't. And the ones that you never suspected in a million years would ever join you, let alone do well, join you, and they do amazing. So sometimes we kind of have to take our preconceived ideas and throw them out the window because that's just not necessarily how it always is. And we get to kind of decide who we want in our business. We get to attract those people. Like attracts like, right? We're like magnets. So we really have to focus in on who are those people that we want to attract. Another thing I always keep in mind is the universe is always looking out for my greatest and highest good. Same for you guys. So if they say no, it just wasn't the right time for them, or they aren't the right person for me or my team, or maybe there's something that I'm being protected from in the future that if this person had joined my team, it probably wouldn't have turned out so well. So that kind of helps me put less pressure on myself or the outcome of a conversation, because I know no matter what, it's for the best. It's for the highest good of me. It's for the best good of my team. So I always keep that in mind, and it really helps me keep my mindset in the right place when I'm going out and talking to people. And if you've been in sales or network marketing for any amount of time, you know there's going to be some people, team, or customers that are kind of tough to take. We're in the business of people, and people are all different, and we may not always see eye to eye, and some people are a little more work than others, and that's just the true nature of what we do. So I always look at the no's as protection from something I can't see. So maybe it was best that that person told me no. Maybe they were going to be a very high maintenance customer and cause me a lot of issues down the road, and I just didn't want that, and neither did the universe for me. I'm not trying to attract those kind of people. So we really have to keep that in mind and not put so much weight on every single yes or no. We want to attract the ones that want this. We want to attract the ones that match our vibe and our positive and our go-getters. Think about your perfect teammate or your perfect customer. What are their attributes? If you guys want to put some in the comments, you can do that. Of just like, they're a go-getter, they're a self-starter, they're positive, they're excited, like anything you can think of. If you guys want to throw some things in the comments about who your perfect person would be. But today I want you guys to take some time, or over the next few days or whatever, whenever you have a moment, this is important. Write down these attributes of the perfect teammate or the perfect customer that you want to attract. Who do you want on your team? And writing it down is so important because it really makes you start to think. Once you start getting a few things down on the paper and out of your brain, it leaves room for more things to come in and that you can think of, and you can become more creative and really get specific about who you want on your team. Um, and when you do this, it's basically you're filling out your order form and submitting it to the universe. You're telling the universe, this is who I want to attract. And you're like quantity 20, size XYZ, and then you have all of these qualities that you are looking for in these people that you're attracting or that you're going after to find. Um, and writing things down make such a big difference. It's not just locked up in here. You're actually putting it out into something, saying things out loud, writing them down, increase chances of it actually happening by, I don't know what the statistic is, but it's a lot. Um, and so it just helps us to realize that we get to decide what and who we attract to ourselves. So be specific and then start matching that vibe. Like attracts like, right? So if you're trying to attract fun, creative, passionate, all really great qualities, Amy, people, you can't be a sour dud and expect to attract the really awesome people. You have to match that vibe. You have to go out and be fun and creative and passionate and driven. All of those things that you say that you want, you have to match it. So if you're lazy and cynical and always complaining, what do you think you are going to attract? You're going to have a team full of lazy, cynical, complaining people. So keep that in mind when you're looking for these ideal people. Um, they're going to match your vibe. There's an energy component to it. It's not just writing it down and hoping it happens. Here's the kicker. This piece is so important when talking about the law of attraction and we're trying to attract something to ourselves. You have to take action. And what I mean, making the list, number one, that's the first action. That's a great first step. Actually making the list is an action towards attracting those people to you. Then the next thing that you want to do is really feel how it will feel when this person or these types of people join your team. Thoughts become things, but feelings make them happen faster. And like really meditate on it, like really feel the feelings of excitement, and you're so happy for this person and you're so happy that they've made such a contribution to your team. They're always on time, they always show up, they always do, all the things. Like really think about what that's going to look like in your business. And then release it. This is probably the hardest part for me because I'm such a control freak. I want to control everything all the time. But you don't have to know the how all of this is going to come about. You just have to know that it will, and then let it go. And don't worry about it. Like having faith in something doesn't mean you sit around and worry about it all day long until it happens. It means know that it's going to happen and then go out and do something about it. Don't sit and worry and wonder if it'll happen. Let it go. And then go start asking people, go start talking to people, go start taking the actions you need to take in order to try to find these people. And here's what's going to happen. It's going to happen, but not necessarily how you think it's going to happen. Even if your efforts are over here, you're talking to Sally and Susie and Bob about your business opportunity or your product. Over here, as long as you show the universe through your actions of reaching out and talking to people and trying to have conversations, this is what you're showing it, like, this is what I really want. See, I'm going out and I'm going after it. It'll send you what you ask for, but it may not necessarily be in this place that you're at. I can't tell you how many times I have put together a plan of action for myself to go out and start talking to people and have a list of people. And I start going down the list and doing the things that I put together in my plan. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this person I haven't talked to in 3 years or 2 years about this comes back and is like, okay, I'm ready. Like, these people come out of nowhere as long as you're putting in that effort. It doesn't necessarily mean that because Susie and Sally and Bob that you've been talking to said no, that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen when you least expect it and from where you least expect it to happen. I'm telling you guys, it's happened to me multiple times. But the trick is to actually do these things, make the list, feel the feelings, and then take the action. I've said this before and I will say it again. You cannot ask the universe for things like $1 million and then sit on the couch and watch Netflix. That those two things are conflicting and the universe doesn't know which one you're saying. Um, you can attract a lot of things and you can make it easier on yourself, but you still have to put in the effort. You still have to show the universe that this is what you really want. What you say you want, you're really going after. And I think that's a really key thing that um, every piece to this attraction puzzle is important. You know, writing things down, putting them out there, believing and having faith that they're going to happen, and you know, really feeling the feelings, being grateful for them in advance. Be grateful for everything you have, even if you have two people on your team right now. Be grateful that you have two people on your team right now. Being grateful attracts more things to be grateful for. So all of these pieces to attracting the right people to your team and finding the people that really are going to benefit you and your team are super important. So make sure all of those steps are being taken. um okay, so now we've got some people flowing in, we're attracting those amazing team members to ourselves. And how do we invite them to take a look or join or buy or try or do whatever it is that we're trying to get them to do? If you go after it or talk to them like, I was wondering, maybe you might want to maybe, no, like that's never going to work. um, you can't say, okay, I tell this myself all the time. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person at the right time. So just know that and understand that there's nothing you can say that's wrong. If it's the right time for them, there's pretty much no way you're going to mess it up. But I promise your confidence is the most attractive thing there is. And having and building that confidence in ourselves is so important. Ladies, think about it like this: when a guy is courting you or is trying to get you to go on a date with him, what's one of the most attractive things about a man is if they're confident or not. So same goes for us, everyone in sales. People want to be involved with someone who is confident about what they're doing. Um, so be confident in what you're doing. And if you need help in this area, part of this is building your skills. Study this book, study the things that he says to do and practice them. You know, practice in the mirror. Practice pretending to be busy and I'm in a hurry, I have to go. That's one of the things he recommends when you're having a conversation and inviting somebody to something. You know, I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to let you know, and then I got to go. Practice that. If you're not confident in executing that skill, practice it. Jessica talks all the time about when she got started with her current company. She heard her upline, her presentation of, you know, the product and the opportunity and everything. She said she recorded it, wrote it down again, you know, recorded herself doing it, looking in the mirror, over and over and over again until it was like second nature to her. So practicing these things will help build your confidence. Remember why you started this in the first place. What made you get involved? Think about those things. Those help you remain confident in what you're doing and why you're in this. Remember that you can and will be successful. That is something that you have to tell yourself every single day. motivation, what they say, motivation is like bathing. It doesn't last. So you have to do it daily. Motivating ourselves, doing affirmations every day. Remind yourself, I am confident, I am successful. All those I am statements we talk about all the time. Stand up when you're talking to a prospect. That's one thing I learned when I was doing sales. I was in the mortgage sales business for a few years, and sorry guys, my mouth's very dry. That's one thing they would tell us to do. Stand up at your desk when you're talking to somebody. When you stand up, your blood's flowing better, and it just creates this more confident stance in yourself. They talk about doing like power poses before you get ready to do a presentation. Whatever you have to do to get your mind in that confident space, do it. Whatever it takes for you. Everybody's a little bit different, but doing those things really do make a difference. I know a lot of ours talking and our conversations are at least starting through text messaging right now. So even stand up when you're doing that. Have a smile on your face as you're thinking about the things and typing out the things that you're saying. All of those things make a difference in the energy of how your words come across. So I wanted to touch on this because I think it's important to deal with where those not confident feelings come from too. If we can eliminate that, then it can help us become more confident if we address that kind of like dragon and slay it. But where does that not confident feeling come from? It's typically a fear of somebody telling us no, or a fear of what they'll think. Not knowing what to say, all of those things. So when we're reaching out or we're talking to someone, we tend to make up all these scenarios of how it's going to go in our minds, and which are just little stories of future things that you really don't know how it's going to turn out. So what you tell yourself is so important. So if we just change the story that we're telling ourselves about how this is going to turn out, which could be just as true as the negative stories that we try to tell ourselves beforehand. Like they'll say no, they're not going to understand, they aren't going to get what I do or why. Instead, why can't the story go positively? Or at the very least, have the confidence that the right people will join you. And if it's a no, there's a good reason for it. So stinking thinking. Oh my gosh, Amy, I haven't heard that phrase in so many years. My gym teacher in the 6th grade used to say that all the time. That's so funny that you said that. But there's a good reason for a no. Like we kind of have to take ourselves and be thankful for the no's. Is it a bad thing? Maybe not. We don't know. And if we tell ourselves this story, like, oh, she said no, so, and she thinks I'm stupid, she thinks this is stupid, they all think it's a scam, and then it snowballs into this thing that we never really, it's not even true, but we made this up. So why not make up a positive story? Why not make up the story that we want it to be? Because it's just as plausible, it's just as possible. So just keep that in mind when you're going after it. My point is this: we kind of have to emotionally anyway unattach ourselves from the outcome. It's not the end of the world if they say no, and it's not the end all be all if they say yes. Those things we have to kind of unattach ourselves from that and know that no matter what, the world's going to keep spinning, our business is going to continue on, and we're going to go out and get the next person. If we're going to assume things, why not assume the best things? So know who you want to attract, make your list to your team or as your customers, and go after it with confidence. Don't take things, what we fear, what we don't know. Don't take things personally. Huge lesson. Yes, absolutely, Amy. Huge lesson. It was huge for me too. It's a learning process. And over time, when you realize you didn't die because someone said no, you lived to see another day, it's okay, right? So you just got to kind of get out there and start doing it. Um, and go after it with confidence and know that the right people are going to show up. They will. You don't have to know how. You just have to know that it's going to happen. Um, so work on that list of people that you want to attract into your business. Meditate, take some time to really feel what it's going to feel like when all of these people are on your team and you guys are rocking it out. Like, really feel like what that's going to feel like. Um, you'll have a smile on your face while you're thinking and feeling these things, guys. I absolutely 100% promise you that. And then take some action. Start going out there and talking to people, because nothing's going to happen if you don't do that. Um, and be confident. If you need to borrow someone else's confidence for a minute, great. If you need a reminder of how amazing you are, use your communities. We have groups of people all around us in this business, on our teams, that will remind us how amazing we are when we're having one of those days where we're not feeling so confident. We need that. Community is huge in this thing that we're doing. So I hope that these tips were helpful for you. I hope it kind of gave you a little bit more perspective on really going out there and finding and attracting the right people and being confident in doing so. It's your story. You get to be the co-author of this whole thing. So don't forget that you can make this whatever it is that you want. Why not make it a positive story, right? Go out, have a wonderful Taco Tuesday. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Go out and crush your business. And remember, I will always tell you how amazing you are, how loved you are, and how much you deserve everything you ever wanted. So have a wonderful day, guys. Love you. Bye.